Welcome aboard for another video.
Thanks, Conductor Keith. Hello, everyone. I have taken delivery of 2 alcohol burners, one for my Wilesco Showman engine here, and the other one for my Wilesco D18 stationary power plant. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to try it in this engine, and I'm going to do a detailed review of what I think of it. The important part will be how it runs, so we're going to take the engine outdoors. We're going to give it a run on the alcohol burner, just to see what happens. This one is from Middlebury Models in Exeter, Devon, United Kingdom. So we'll see how they fit in the engine. Look at that, and they're heavy. They feel heavy. And if you look at that, it feels very solid. Let's see if I can move it closer. So you see the top of the burner there. So I guess the next thing you need to do is try it in the engine. Before I get to doing that though, this one is for my large Wilesco power plant, the D18. It's the same thing. It's heavy and it's just bigger. Initial feeling I have about these is extreme quality, actually. Look at that. So here's a bit of weirdness. Methylated spirits right here. So I filled it with this. And while I was trying to find a little hole I thought that might be big enough to squirt that straight down into, there wasn't, and that's okay. Paint came off everywhere I went. So I literally went along like that while this was wet with meths, and all the paint came off. And so I just, look, if I rub here, paint came right off. How bizarre. Do I care about that? No, I don't. But why bother painting the thing? By pure happenstance, this is marked for my Bassett Loke mogul locomotive. The burner takes 2 times to that line and 1 time to this line, and it's full. In this case, I filled it to the 2, put it in. I filled it to the 1, and I just moved a milliliter or so down from the 1, and it was full. So this is great. Now I know that I just filled it to the 2 times point there. That's very convenient. Now, of course, I got my fire safety stuff here. I have a wet towel behind me. See how that goes. It's burning, feel heat. There you go. Look at that nice flame. Look at it. Easy. Let's take it outside. I'm curious as to what will happen. Look. I can tip it. This is full and I can tip it all the way up. Nothing comes out. I don't know what's inside there. Some sort of foam structure, something. It's just keeping it soaked up so it's not flowing out. So that's a nice, this is good to know for safety. See, look. I can dip it all the way over and nothing's coming out, but it's full. Right now here in Casselman, Eastern Ontario, it's 20 degrees Celsius outside, which is a bit unseasonably warm, but it's breezy, and we'll see how long this takes to heat up the engine. Now the thing is, the sterno heats it up fairly quick. The solid fuel tabs that I don't like, because they're messy and stinky, they heat it up fairly quick. Alcohol will burn hotter than the camp fuel stuff. So we'll see if the alcohol is going to heat it up fairly quick. I notice now that as everything in there is heating up, the flame is higher than it was on the bench that we just saw. You will notice a little tab bent up behind the burner. Don't worry about that. That's just part of my mods for a larger gel fuel tray. It's neither here nor there for the purposes of this video. My initial concern it wasn't close enough to the boiler might not be founded. We'll see. The boiler is full of water and I didn't preheat it. So far, it's hot, not boiled yet, and this is out of fuel. It's not too hot. In fact, I was gratified that I could grab this. No problem at all. It was easier to reload the burner than scooping in camp fuel. Now I note that in the UK, I've noticed you can get gel, like in gel packs, you probably just squeeze it on in like a toothpaste. I've not been able to see that here, but that would be nice to have. So now the boiler's already somewhat hot, and we put in the second load of alcohol, or methylated spirits. All right, we got some pressure coming. Actual moment of truth. Here we're coming up grade. I think we're already running out of fuel. Burner doesn't last very long. Boiler will have cooled a little bit out here in the breeze, because I had to run in and get more fuel. It's been a few minutes, so the pressure will be gone, but everything should still be hot. So I'm going to time it this time. Well, off we go again. It took 3 minutes to bring the hot water and the hot boiler back up to pressure. We're going down grade, and as you can see, slowing down to a stop. That was 3 minutes to heat up the boiler to pressure again. And then that was a 4-minute run. Just 4 minutes with this burner. That's a little disappointing. You know, there's headroom in there. Enough headroom by far that this could be deeper if you look at it. I would recommend that the manufacturer of this, if they're watching, make this thing deeper so it can take more fuel. So I'm now going to give you my final thoughts. In a previous video, you can see how I modified that to take more camp fuel. The camp fuel leaves a residue, but you know what? This thing burns a lot longer than this thing. Not quite as hot maybe, but a lot longer. I can get a much longer run with the Sterno or camp fuel or the Woods brand that I buy here. This runs for a disappointingly short amount of time. So I'm going to leave you with my thoughts on the pros and cons. So I paid a little under 14 pounds. It was 13 pounds 83 pence. Of course I had to do the shipping and all that. But 20 bucks, $21 Canadian. Is it worth $20? Well, here's my list of pros. Number one, I find it really well made. It's solid, it's heavy. Number two, whatever they've got in there, whatever structure they have inside of this, it doesn't spill. It's spill proof. Now, I'm not sure it's not 100% spill proof, but it's very spill proof. So that's good, that's number two. Number three, easy to reload, very quick and easy compared to other methods. If I had two of these and I had one, you know, I could actually switch them out. Now, maybe that's an idea. For $43, $42 Canadian, I could have two of these and just switch them out as I go and keep the thing running. That might be something I'll do in the future. Number four, I like the fact that I can pull this out. This is hot, feels hot to the touch. Not too hot though, it's surprisingly less hot than I thought. But I can pull this out without this being hot. And finally, number five, methylated spirits, dirt cheap, solvable methyl hydride. This is just about 4 liters, and I can buy this for about these days, about $7 Canadian. By comparison, this Woods brand methanol gel is $7, same price, but this goes nowhere near as long, like not even, it's a teeniest fraction as long. So the price is a consideration here. Now the cons. Number one, the paint comes off easy. Well, is that really a con though? Like, I actually don't care. Don't care in the least. But, you know, people are making this and you'd think they'd know that. It doesn't seem to have affected the rest of their quality control though. The second con, and there's only 2 of them, is, I wish it was deeper, a little more runtime, please. It took 3 minutes to get the near boiling water up to pressure and 4 minutes of run. I suppose that to start with, I could put hot water in the boiler. Now, I only use distilled water. I do have a little kettle that I only use distilled water for my live steam in, so I could put boiling water in there. That would help. So with boiling water, I could have one of these in there if I had 2 of them. Put one of these in there with the boiling water, get her all up and ready and start moving, and then slide another one in. I could probably get 7 minutes of runtime. So finally, my recommendation. Would I buy this? Would I suggest it? Actually, yes. It's not like I paid $60 for it. It's not very expensive. You can't really go wrong. What I will do is order another one. I think 2 of these minimum, and you can slide them in and out, right? If I had 2 of these, I think it would be ideal. I think what's lacking here is just the one. It's just not big enough. It doesn't take enough fuel. If you have a Wilesco or some stationary engines like I have over there, and you're considering something like this, I hope that maybe you found my video useful.